Corporate here. Don't forget to like the video. If you really like it, share the video. If you want to be on my good side, comment on the video. Well, let's circle back to a topic that seems to need little introduction. Sports ratings. Yesterday officially ended the NBA season with a thud. What do I mean by a thud? Ratings were down over 70% for the finals. 70%. Sports ratings have been dropping drastically because of the woke stances, but the NBA being the tip of the spear with regard to wokeness saw the biggest, most drastic decline ever. A 70% drop. So much so that a few days ago, the commissioner of the NBA essentially said the woke stuff is going to be gone next year. They're not doing it. He understands the writing's on the wall. There won't be any BLM on the courts or say her name on your jerseys. We're going back to playing basketball at a high level. But why, Corporal Randall? We really want to support the cause. We want to use our platform. Great. We want you to support the cause. What we keep trying to tell you is, we get that you want to support the cause. We're not even against you supporting the cause, no matter how uninformed you are in your support for cause A, B, C, or D. However, we want you to do that at a respectable time, not when we're trying to watch sports. So all the extra imaginations on the jerseys and on the floor and on the court, that's where we want it to stop. Support the cause on your social media, support the cause in your daily life. You can literally go to any event you want and bring tons of news cameras to support the cause of your choice, because that's part of your platform. Your platform does not extend to your employers or your place of work. I'm sorry, but that's the way it works for the rest of the world as well. I mean, shoot, if you didn't notice, I routinely wear jerseys, lots of NFL jerseys. I have baseball, football, basketball. I'm a sports fan. However, I do have options. I watched many of the games for the NBA Finals and in the playoffs. I'm a Lakers fan. Unfortunately, the Lakers have been taken over by King Woke-ificent himself, LeBron James. You know, the most woke person in the world, never done a thing wrong, except for he doesn't understand how things work in China, so he doesn't want to touch that issue. You know, China, where Uyghur Muslims are in forced slavery and concentration camps, being involuntarily sterilized. He doesn't understand that. I mean, hey, he's all about making sure that he can crap on America because that's what he knows. He's always been told that America is a divisive place that hates black people. If America is as bad as he says, why is it he won't leave and move somewhere else? I mean, he can still come here and work, but live somewhere where him and his kids don't have to run serpentine to and from the car for fear of the police. But we know that's not true. That's not the case. However, we're not going to let facts get in the way of all the narrative. It never works. I'm happy to see that the numbers are going up and the viewership is going up and subscribers are going up. But for the amount of views, the amount of subscribers aren't going up commensurately. So I ask that you take a moment and subscribe to the channel. But what about the NFL? Aren't I upset with them and their wokeness? Yes, I am. But my trick this year has been simple for both the NFL and the NBA. I start all the games about 15, 20 minutes after they start. That way, under no circumstances do I have to witness my country being assailed by multimillionaires with information deficits. What does that mean? That means I'm able to sit there and enjoy the game for the most part, as long as they don't have to prattle on about their political affiliations or stances during the game. Therein was the problem with the NBA. They didn't allow me to fast forward past the part where we were being disrespectful to the country because they decided they wanted to put it on the clothing and everything else. The NFL, it's funny that due to the COVID crisis, the NFL did announce they won't have any people live singing the national anthem. And they haven't changed their disciplinary policy with regard to kneeling, but they do expect everyone to stand for the national anthem. Translation, if you want to kneel and be disrespectful, you can. We're not going to punish you for it, but we prefer you stay in the locker room. You know what several teams have already said was their plan? Because they have to sit there and try to play to certain audiences, which is confusing. Because not that long ago, they had over a 14% drop in ratings because they tried to play to the same audience. And they noticed their finances were not so strong. I'm willing to bet in the next 5 to 10 years, when it's time to renegotiate collective bargaining contracts, or it's time to renegotiate some television deals, we're going to find out that a lot of players are not so happy with their woke choices. Why, do you ask? Very simple. Well, if the purpose of the TV contracts is to get advertisers to be able to advertise on their show, and you have less people watching your product, that's less reason for the advertisers to advertise, which means less money for people like ESPN, ABC, NBC, Fox, CBS to pay for your show. I mean, their goal is to make a return on their investment, and they see that the multi-billion-dollar contracts were their return. However, that's based on a viewership that is up here and going up on a regular basis. What are they getting now? Viewership that is here and digressing. This is so dire that with all the ratings drops between the NBA and NFL, one of their key product partners, ESPN, is on the verge of having to cut hundreds of employees. Yeah, they were all about it. They were super wokey woke. They were all about the woke life. And now it's cutting into their bottom line. I wonder how many of those people are willing to continue their wokeness now. See, it's easy to be woke when it doesn't affect you. I mean, when you're an on-air talent, you're probably gonna be more safe than some of the others. However, when you're behind the scenes, you can end up being replaced. So maybe somebody should get in the ears of the producers and things like that and explain to them that, hey, in the event this goes south, the on-air talent will probably remain employed. You, however, if there's cost-cutting measures, will be at the top of the chopping block. Why? Because no one knows who you are. It's weird. LeBron James can't say anything really bad or negative about his talent. The man is phenomenal. Just won another Finals MVP. I'm a Lakers fan. I don't really see this season as being a Lakers win. It's kind of weird. I don't know what it is about this season, but it doesn't feel like my Lakers. I mean, hey, just a couple of games ago, what was it, Game 5 of the Finals? LeBron drives to the hole, just needing to score 2, and he passes the ball out. Kobe would have never done that, because Kobe is an assassin, and he's the greatest Laker ever. But I digress. LeBron James, leading the charge, has brought down the NBA in a way that you'd never think you'd see before. I mean, with Jordan, with Kobe, with Magic, with Bird, these were all phenomenal athletes, best of their generation. And when they left the game, the fan base had expanded. LeBron James, leading the charge, will be the one superstar that I can think of in my lifetime that will leave the game, and the game would have contracted. I go back to the meaning of the word sports. It comes from the ancient word disport, to entertain. If you're not going to be entertaining, you're going to lose your audience. If you lose your audience, you lose your ability to finance your quality of life. I'm okay with spending the money on the jerseys and things like that. However, there comes a time where you start running out of people like me that'll continue to spend the money even though they disagree with what you're doing. For instance, I'm not leaving Apple. I understand that Apple has some questionable business practices. Has that stopped me from buying Apple products? No. But has it stopped some? Yes. One of the funniest parts about this whole protest movement is the 70% down ratings for the NBA. You would think that's because you got lots of people who are anti-Black Lives Matter and they're just not watching anymore. Nothing could be further from the truth. Realistically, you have lots of people who agree with the sentiment of Black Lives Matter, but are tired of being preached to by pampered multi-millionaires. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. Corporate Randall, out.